Hello fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today it is this bubu short gown by Total Nigeria Women on Instagram. The easiest way to make this dress as a beginner, that is what you'll be learning in this video. If it is what you're interested in, like the video, all right, and subscribe to the channel. I post videos of how to make different styles every day. So this is the fabric and the Asooke. I will be combining it. I went for this one because of this spotted red on the Ankara. All right, so you know how we do it. Let's go for the calculation. Now this is the measurement I'll be working with. Shoulder 16 divided by 2 gives me 8. I know you're saying plus 8. That plus 8 is sleeve length, okay? Blouse and waist and hip, I added plus 8. So to the blouse and to the bust and hip, I added plus 8. What is the 8 for ease? When you're measuring this person, you measured accurate measurement. But the dress you're making, you can see how bogus it is. It is a boo-boo and a short one. So plus 8, I think that should be the minimum. You can do plus 10, plus 12, depending on how bogus you want it to be. All right. Now, you add that ease to your original measurement before dividing. That is what I did. All right. Then after dividing, I just added 1 inches for there. Now, let's work on what is this 16 for. This 16 is my shoulder. All right. Divided by 2 gives me 8. Plus this sleeve length you're seeing here. Now it gives me 16. Now this 16 is what we have to fold. Your folding should not be less than this 16. It can be 18. It can be 19. You know, what else do you need? You need the hemming. All right. So whatever you're folding, now I folded 18. Okay. So the next thing to do, using this method is very easy. Just, fold using 18. I have 16. I added 2. So fold using 18. Then the next thing is get your length. The length of this gown is 36. And I'm going for 38 because I'll be folding the down, thick folding with hemming gum. So the first thing is, once you fold, cut. Get your length, then cut it. You can see how I'm cutting it. All right. This cutting I'm doing here, why am I doing it? I'm trying to get, the length and width, for my front before cutting any other thing. The length and the width, and what are the measurements? The length of the blouse, the gown, which is 36 plus 2 inches. The width is that 16 inches plus 2 inches. What is the 2 inches for? For the folding. The sleeve will be folded. Okay, so it must not be plus 2, it can be plus 1, right? Depend on your folding. So I've done the cutting. I've gotten the length and I've gotten the width. The next thing for me is equally fold to get the length and the width for the back to make it easy. Now this is a boo-boo and there is no zip at the back. Okay, so I don't need to place it, consider any zip allowance because there's no zip at the back. So what next I need to do is equally cut the same height, the same length and the same width of the fabric, which is what I'm doing right now. Following this method, you make it very easy. All right, you make it very easy. Just get the length of your gown and the width. Remember I said the width is your shoulder divided by 2 plus your sleeve length. If the sleeve length of your own calculation is 10, then you add 10. All right, that gives you 18. Then you add your hemming or folding allowance because definitely you fold the sleeve part. Okay, so this is it. All right, you can see I've gotten the front and the back together, the length I need for the gown and the width. Very easy. Once you have this, you place them together just as I've done. All right, place them together. You can see this side is the open side 4. This side, the other side is the unopen side. Now the next thing we need to look on is our neck width. Looking at this dress, one, there is no zip on it. Your neck width, you need to consider it. So having done that, what I'll do is measure my shoulder 8, that normal shoulder, okay? Then you place your tape and start marking all the necessary measurement. Now because it's a BUBU and it's a cut together BUBU, your armhole depth or your bust where you mark your bust has to be big. And for me, I went for 10. Your Then my half length is 17. Now where my hip is, that is what I just indicated. Now armhole depth, here is my waist, here is my hip, okay? Now your armhole depth, I don't know if you can see it, it is chalk and I know you may not be seeing it. Now this is the original 16. This is where the 16 is. Right now what is left is 2 inches and it's for my hemming. I will be folding my sleeve. Now from there I'll mark 10. You can go, that is my armhole depth. All right, that 10 I marked, yours can be 11, 12, depending on how wide you want it. Now once you have done that, you mark your hip measurement. That is what I marked at that same point. I'll come back to the hip and mark my hip. Now you do not need your waist measurement. You do not need it, but if you choose to, you want it curvy, it is your choice, but you do not need it. You can see it is bogus, and that is why it is short. Now you can either come to the bust and use your bust measurement, but if you check what you have as your bust is not much, work with the hip. Now follow this curve. You see this curve I did? That is how you curve this part, this way down. Okay, this is how you curve it. Then let me cut it before proceeding. Now you can see how I'm cutting straight down. I use the hip measurement straight down. You can use the hip measurement if you choose to. It is your choice. If you decide to, oh, I want to mark my bust measurement, on my waist measurement, on my hip is your choice. But looking at this dress, they did not consider the waist, rather they went straight for it. Now the next thing is our neck width. Remember I told you earlier that this dress does not have zip, so your neck width can be 4 inches. So I marked 4 and the height is 2 for the back. I'm cutting the back first because I placed the front and back together. So I will start with the one that is short. Remember, neck width remains the same, but neck depth differs. So for neck width, 4 inches, that is what I use. I've taken out the one part, is remaining only this one part. I can easily cut the V using this one part. Now you can see this is a V. It's a V. I know you're not seeing the depth, but that is a V. The depth is your choice, but for me, I'm going for 7 inches. Okay, remember your neck width can either be 3.5, 4 inches, 4.5, depending. But I'm working with 4 because the person wearing this dress, there is no zip. So he has to be able to pass through the head freely. That is why I went for 4 inches. So you can decide, okay, oh, I want 3.5. It is your choice, okay? But consider zip, that there will be no zip on it when deciding that. So this is how the V is. Let's take this out and place it very well. This, for me, it is okay. So the person can easily wear this dress, all right? Now, having done this, let's get our Asooke. Yes, it is time for the Asooke. So this is the Asooke, all right? I will be placing it on the neck, cut the design you saw on the front, all right? So, but first, let me cut the back. The back will be, you will be using facing for the back, fabric facing for the back. So let me just cut it first. This is it. Okay, normal facing we use for the back. All right, the Asooke did not get to the back. The Asooke only stopped at the front. All right, so this is what I folded. You can see it. I'll place this, then I'll cut. Okay, then you curve the neck, go straight. Now The slanting of your shoulder, there's no shoulder slant on this dress, so do not bother. It has to be straight, okay? Now the um facing is usually shorter. It doesn't get to the shoulder. All right, this is it. So let's pack this and keep it one side. We are done with the back part. Now this is the V. That is where the work is, the front of this dress. Okay. Now looking at this style, this is the Asooke. Now, if your Asooke is not joined, you can join it, and make it bold enough. This one is joined already. So I'll just place it. First, what am I trying to get? I'm trying to get the way to go about this first before cutting it. You can see the Asooke is long. Okay, so from here, if you watch the picture, one side is smaller, the other side is bigger. This side you can see, so that is what I'll consider. Now from here, I would like mine to be either 5 or 4.5, just as it is. You can see it on the picture. So you can see some parts is smaller. You can see how it is. So here went in a little bit. So I'm trying to measure it. Now, whenever you're placing Asooke, you need to look at the style you're trying to recreate very well. Look at the detailing, because looking at this particular Asooke on this front, one part, is from the center of the V, it is closer, while the other part it is far, right? It is distance. So I'm cutting my Asooke with a normal scissors. I did not put it on a hot um mm, stove or whatever. Just a normal scissors I'm using. The Asooke is light, it is foldable, it is cuttable. You don't need soldering iron to do that. So first thing, I'm getting the part that covered the V downwards. That is the one I'm getting first. First, you get the length, you choose. It is matter of choice. So I've gotten this length. This is the length. You can see it. For me, it is okay. Though I'll be folding it, but for me, this length is very okay. So I'll keep that aside. The next thing is this V. I need to get the designs. Now, looking at this V, one side of the V is smaller, the other side is bigger. One side of the V is smaller, one side is bigger. All right. So these are the things you analyze, before you cut a dress. Analyze it, like sit down and think about it, imagine it. Okay. So this part, I'll be going with 4 inches. This part will be bigger for me, while the other part will be small. So when I place it this way, you see it, this side will be 4 inches. Yours can be 4.5 or even 3.5. It's matter of choice. So I'm going for 4 inches. Let me cut it. So for me to cut, what I'll be cutting about 4.5. I will be folding it. There will be a folding. There will be sewing. So I can either go for 4.5 and 4.75, at most 5 inches. Okay. So let me cut. All right, let me cut. So first, let me get the length of the V. It is 7 already. Okay. But I'll be giving it some allowance, so it can easily. So you can see I've done the cutting. This is how this part will be. For me, this is the part that should be, that is big. Okay. So here will be folded in. All this Asooke on this dress, this particular Total Nigeria women's dress, it is folded. They sewed on it. Now for this part, I can use this, but it's too small. It is small, so let's cut another one. You can decide to use a smaller version. It is your choice. What of this? This looks almost the same size with this, so let's cut it a little bit more so it will fit in. Good. This is it. So you place it this way. You see that? That is it. That is it. Let me, shift it back so you can see the V proper. Okay, so you pin it up, then the back side, the shoulder part, you get to trim it yourself to the size of the shoulder. You can do that later, maybe when joining the shoulder to the other one, to the back, or now, whichever one, it is okay. Now, this dress on Total Nigeria Women is two combination of two different fabrics. So if you're going for two combination, go for the same pattern of dress and fabric but different color. The same pattern of fabric but different color. The same pattern, like the same pattern, the same designs of fabric but different color. That is what Total Nigeria Women did. The upper part is different. They are both the same fabric, but you can see they are different colors. So this is my V. Now this V, you will be doing a facing on it. When you sew it to the front, sew it from the back, you turn it to the front this way. I hope you understand. The same way, for those that have not done facing, this is facing pattern where you sew, you turn it to the front if you want it in the front. Okay, when you turn it to the front, it will still come out this way. All right, you sew, you turn it, you sew it from the back, then you turn it to the front this way. Okay, when you turn it, it will still be this way. The Asooke was used for the facing before placing this one. Before placing this one I dropped, they are done with the facing, and the facing, the Asooke came to the front. Please, I hope I'm able to explain. Then another thing is, this particular bigger part of the Asooke, look at it very well. Here, it must rhyme, like they started from where this line is very important. Here is bigger, though this part too will be folded. Everywhere was neatly folded and sewn on. They sewed on it. Let me zoom it so you see the sewing yourself. So you can see the sewing. They sewed every part. It is facing. The Asooke served as facing. Okay, that came out to the front. So if you don't know how to sew facing and you want me to do a video of it, please drop it on the comment section. All right, or you have any question, drop it on the comment section. So this is sewn. It is neatly sewn, every part of the Asooke sewn on the fabric. The neck of the Asooke, it is facing. So please have that at the back of your mind. All right, so with this, you decide what you want. This part, you can cut this part, cut it before folding it on yours, or you can just fold it while you sew. So the design on that bigger part is your choice. If you want it deeper, make it deeper, but for me, I'm not going for a deeper. I don't want it deeper, so this one is okay for me. All right, so here it is, but I'm thinking this part is too long. Let me just fold it and check. So you keep folding it until you get the design. Remember, it has to be neatly ironed. So this is it. You see how it looks? So for me, I think this part is too long. I'll just cut it a little bit. Now, before you sew yours, this part I'm holding right now, you need to be certain of the length, the width, everything about it before you sew it. So to avoid sewing and losing it up again to sew. Okay, so this is it. So guys, if you have any question, do drop it on the comment section. All right, and if you have not subscribed, do subscribe to the channel.